Hello and welcome to the first patrol of Captain Philipp Thomsen. This will be a series of video where I showcase some of the various missions in the U-boat game. It's out in early access, so it's not a complete game yet, but as such we'll play it anyway. Starting the patrol, we'll first get orders from the Admiral, of course, the Admiralty, and we'll be playing medium or high level patrols. Starting my first patrol, we'll start in medium level. We disembark and head for our first patrol area. We'll do that with full speed and we'll manually steer this. One thing you'll see me do every episode, and that is lower the flag when we leave port and raise the flag when we enter port. I'm going to deck wash depth because my Uzo is actually getting a bit tired. So we cannot stay on open sea without a fit deck Uzo, because yeah, we won't see danger coming, and at least now will be very partly hidden as well for airplane attacks. This is exactly why we do this. We now have an aircraft spotted, and the aircraft spotted us, but as you'll see, it is, how do you say, not on an intercept course yet, so we'll be able to avoid it, I hope. Else this will be a short patrol. I already had patrols before in other versions of this early access game where I left port. Plane spotted me, I got bombed, part of my crew died, my submarine sunk or just I could barely save it. But yeah, when you're just out of port, that's a bit of a sad story. So we'll be making a crash dive. It's a good thing we were already deck wash, so we can, how do you say, dive sooner. You see the airplane missed us. It might have thrown some depth charges, but yeah, we were not affected. The aircraft is going away, so we'll be going back to deck wash depth. And so we escaped our first danger. The aircraft is doing actually something really nasty. As I'm entering open sea, we now really avoided the aircraft. We detected propeller noise, but we'll ignore those because yeah, we're heading still to our patrol area. And we just got a message with a mission to find the Empire Bell ship, which is located over there, so we'll try to intercept that. We've been intercepting at high velocity and above, how do you say, fully submerged. And now we'll be, or I say, now we cut it up in deck wash, and now we'll fully emerge from the sea. So we'll have plane side of view side. Our Uzo is completely rested, so we spotted the chimney smoke, and now we can go on for the attack. still have to plot a course to intercept them and fix their position, but we are now roughly in their vicinity. That means also we don't need any navigation at the moment. I think in this screens you can't get lost. There we go, detection of the first vessel. I'll always start with identifying the different vessels with the sonar ability. But first we'll need to go to periscope depth. In between we finished researching the snorkels, the first thing I always research. They are a really necessity when moving into a large convoy and you'll be submerged for a long time. I do not have access to potassium plates, so once they run out we'll need other means of regaining oxygen. As you can see, we're actually running quite low on this on our oxygen because I did not switch to blue light yet. There we go. We have them in hydrophone area, so we can now start scouting for the Empire Bell. And I just take my time in identifying all the ships, so I know what is my target. As you can see, there is a little bit of escort also with this convoy, which makes me actually quite cautious. But as long as they didn't see me, I can do whatever I want, even put my sonar guy to bed because they're now in sight, and we can start hunting them down. Trying to gain a nice angle, and at this moment this one is similar to the Empire Bell. Should be a nice target. As you can see, I will be firing at 2 ships at the same time in order to gain maximum momentum of my, the fact that I'm not detected yet. The element of surprise. Two hits, blasting the ship out of the way. And the first Empire Bell is sunk, but it's not the Empire Bell we are looking for. So we'll be sinking the second Empire Bell kind of ship. I'm now also moving into a new position for a second shot on the first Empire battleship. There you can see the first corvette is heading my way. It's a nice thing that I'm hitting second Empire bell as well. I'm now waiting to crash dive in hoping that I can report the ship sunk before I make my crash dive. Second torpedo, which is a T1 torpedo, not a T2, is coming a bit slower, but it's going to be a hit as well. If it doesn't dud. Which it doesn't. It sets the ship on fire, so now it will most certainly sink. And as it's sinking, we're reporting it in, and we'll immediately go to a safe depth. And safe meaning safe for depth charges. And now we'll continue the monitoring with the hydrophone. And we're even firing at some more ships after we got a new position. The corvette actually flew by us. It was still a little bit bugged, or it couldn't find us because we shut down, of course, engines and the gyroscope. These two torpedoes are a miss. And also these two are a miss. Oh man, I was shooting at a bad angle. So repositioning and try it again. I'm a bit lucky that these escorts are not doing their job. But because I'm able to get a new position and fire a shot in between the corvettes again. Preheating the torpedoes is very important, so that's why I actually take the time to do that. Because I had too many duds with unwarmed torpedoes. There go two more. And this time it seems to be a hit. Only minimal damage. That is actually a little bit of a bummer. Hoping that the second torpedo will make an impact. And now I'm even firing the unheated torpedo in an attempt to finish that ship off. But that seems to be a miss. Which it is. Next torpedo is actually already on the way. Now I'm a bit worried that will be a miss as well. But it's not. Again, only minimal damage. Very disappointing. And now I'm slinging by to finish it off with the last torpedo. That's a miss. That is all very disappointing. Now I'll have to use the deck gun. And while I'm using the deck gun, I also try to fire with the rear torpedo a shot at the last freighter. But first I'm taking position behind the ship in order to, be safe of any incoming fire of the corvettes. I have to check this out if this really works. They move out of position, so now I can remerge and man the gun. As you can see, I'm not really at that distance, but it took 5 shots to put the ship on fire. Because it's on fire, it will sink. And that means that I can get the hell out of here before those corvettes make the decision to turn around and come and get me. But there it goes down. We get a whooping 50,000 for this, for the sinking of the ship. There comes one of the corvettes. It's a little bit late, but now I'll have to dive again to a safe depth, and hoping that he will not be able to find me. I'm calculating torpedo course, but actually I do not fire at the corvettes. There's also the second corvette coming, and that means that I'm actually in serious trouble if they find me. But first corvette is starting a search pattern where they last saw me, and I am already nicely out of position and heading back to the patrol area. I went back to periscope depth because the discipline of my crew was falling back. But now we're back on open sea and they can enjoy their ferrite dishes. That's actually one of the best means to keep the discipline on your ship high, is to keep 2 or even 3 dishes. And well, they send out a plane patrol as well, which now caught up with me, or at least my rested Uzo at least saw them really nice in time, so we have time to dive, and hopefully we will not be depth charged. I'm going to this dangerous depth because apparently at 200 meters below the surface you are safe for depth charges. As you can also see, there was no food consumption during this patrol. We skip a little bit ahead in time, the patrol is complete, nothing serious happened. I have no torpedoes anymore to engage anyone. Here you see the rewards we'll be getting for this patrol, making the patrol a complete 116,000. So we'll be heading back to port so we can tell the tale of this nice patrol. Well, just before France I got lost. I don't know why. I had actually navigation quite well manned, but maybe it's because of the fog. We regained our position and now we can head back. Even finished the anti-radar coated snorkel. Lovely. We can start at our own radar technology now. Because I chose for the medium level patrol, we'll be only getting 75% of our reputation, so we cannot unlock the 6th crew member, which I think is actually quite necessary for you to install the radar. And there's also one thing, that the first step in the radar technology actually is bad radar. It's a type of radar that will attract airplanes instead of warning you for them. From the second step on of the radar, apparently these things get better. Same thing also is apparently with the torpedoes like that. The T2 torpedoes that we're using are, according to the research tree, they are really bad. We'll use them anyway. The T2s are at least better than the T1s in fact of the explosion impact they have on a ship. Sinking a ship with T1 torpedoes is pretty hard. We have returned back to port. The flag is back in the on the mast, and I would like to welcome you, if you liked watching this episode, to watch the second episode of my patrol adventures, which probably will be online shortly if it's not already there. And there we go, back in port.